Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It's great to be back. I've been on a little 2-week hiatus or so, and I was super excited about getting back to the weekly member spotlight. Before we get to our guests, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who joined us last night for the Holiday Cheers event at Kenwood Country Club. We are still very actively tallying all of the cash that we raised. We are going through all of the prizes. I hope you won something last night. It was really great to see all of our friends and colleagues out there at Kenwood Country Club. So thank you very much. I did want to say, if you have any photos that you've not yet posted, please tag the Greater Cincinnati Northern Kentucky Apartment Association in your photos, and then use a hashtag GCNKAA. We'd love to let everyone see all the pictures and all the fun that we had last night. And thank you again. We are positive it was a great success, and we'll share all of the information about how much we raised in short order. All right, business aside, we are ready to get down to the weekly member spotlight. We are here with Kira Sobke-Sexton with Scherzinger Termite and Pest Control. Good morning, Kira.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
You are saving my behind today. Our scheduled guest, who had been scheduled for quite some time, was unable to make it, and I had talked to you about doing the spotlight sometime in the future, and you stepped in and saved the day early. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm excited, to get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah.
You're relatively new to being involved with the Apartment Association in your role.
I am, yes.
So could I ask, maybe just take a few minutes, introduce yourself, and tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Sure. My name is Kira Sobke-Sexton. I work for Scherzinger Termite and Pest Control. I am their multifamily sales consultant.
Yep.
I've been in this business for just a little over a year.
Okay.
I originally started in the office as an admin.
Okay.
And when this position came available, I had to jump on it because I had about 10 years of property management experience.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to take all that information that I had with the property management and put it in with the sales part of it, and it seemed to work out very well.
I bet that perspective of knowing what it's like to be a property manager and have the kinds of problems you can now help solve comes in handy. Where did you work as a property manager? What was one or two of the properties that you worked for?
There were two properties up in Kettering.
Oh, okay.
Because that's where I lived.
Okay.
And then I worked for Daniel Court, which is an Elon property that was back in Batavia.
Yeah.
And then I think that those were the only three that I worked for.
Do you wish you knew then as a property manager what you know now as a pest control professional?
Yes and no. I really wish that property management and the people up in corporate would give a little bit more as far as pricing for your budget,
right?
Because there's a lot of people that do not get a budget at all, and then you are going 3 times over of what you spent because of bed bugs and heatigation and roaches and mice and whatnot. So
well, I think now we do more preventative than we ever have, but I remember back on site when I was a property manager, it was a take care of it if you have a problem, and other than that, don't think about it, which always caused a lot of expense.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of property management companies that are using their own maintenance guys to be doing it. And
really?
Yeah.
Is that allowed? You're allowed to handle, I guess, over-the-counter chemicals.
Over-the-counter chemicals, yeah. But I mean, it's just not working because the strength isn't there. The insects get used to that product, so then they become resistant to that product. So
well, that's interesting. What's your favorite kind of pest to help people solve for? Is there one?
Probably the ones where they turn around and say, I'm being bit by something, but I don't know what it is.
Right.
And then you go and you inspect their condo, their apartment or whatever, and you're automatically thinking that it's bed bugs.
Right.
Well, you're looking, you don't see bed bugs.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, well, we have to eliminate that.
Right.
And then you have to go into, asking different questions. Have you changed laundry detergent?
Sure.
Are you going to a different place,
Right.
different gym, anything like that. So it's kind of a trickle down effect, and then you finally ask them a question and they're like, oh yeah, I did that, or
Right.
I brought home this plant and blah blah blah, so
Right.
I'll go over to the plant and it'll have like an insect or
Sure.
spiders or whatever.
Right.
So it's kind of just like, questions and answers.
Yeah.
And
Well, one of the questions that we asked you in preparation for the interview was, what's one of your most memorable stories from the industry? Do you want to go ahead and share that now?
yeah, it was an elderly woman who called very frantically saying that she thought that she had bed bugs. And so I went over as quickly as I could. I think it was the next day. She called at like 4 o'clock.
Right.
And I went over and I was looking through her apartment, and she's, very upset, and she's had them before. So I kind of sat her down and assessed the situation, did my inspection, and told her that she didn't have bed bugs.
Yeah.
And she just broke down and just started crying. She was just like, thank you so much. You don't know how much this has taken a toll on me. And it is. It's a very emotional toll
I bet.
on people, because they think that they're going crazy because they're being bit and they can't see anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was just so thankful.
Aw. Well, you talked a little bit about being in the business for 10 years before you got in your position with Scherzinger. How did you first get involved with the apartment industry and or the pest industry?
The apartment industry, I just took a leap of faith.
Yeah.
I was in the mortgage business and I kind of wanted to get out of that.
Uh-huh.
So I knew that I liked dealing with people. So I took a job up in Kettering, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And then became a property manager within a couple years.
Yeah.
And then I moved down to Cincinnati, so I had to stop doing that job. So then I took the job over in Batavia. And my husband actually did the thing online.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So then I'm getting a call from Scherzinger, and I had no idea what it was.
For the admin position?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I went in there and I nailed it, and then they said that they had a position available in their multi-family sales.
Right.
So I was getting a little antsy being in the building
Right.
from 9 to 5, and
Yeah.
I'm so used to being out and talking to people. So yeah, I took that leap of faith and talked to my husband about it, and he was like, go for it. And it's been,
The rest is history.
yeah.
So how do you feel like being involved with the apartment association for the last year or so has helped you in your role? I've seen you at all the events.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, definitely, talking to different properties,
Yeah.
seeing what they do, what they don't do. A lot of them don't use heatigation because of insurance reasons.
Really?
Insurance reasons, yeah. But just trying to, get across to them that, they should be trying to have an ongoing service.
Right.
And, having that conversation with that customer, and for preventative
Right.
maintenance,
Got
for
it.
pest control, because at the end of the day, I mean, my customers are my customers, and,
Right.
and I want them to invest in their, or not invest in their investment, but protect it.
Exactly. Well, and I think not having to ever even think about or worry about pest control is really the name of the game, because
Yeah.
there's so many other things that need your attention. If you've got a situation where there's an infestation or bed bugs or something crazy like that, that's one thing. But to deal with just like normal everyday pest control, it's best when, as a property manager, it's out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
So
right. And having that conversation with the customer as far as preparing a plan, because pest control is not a cookie cutter thing.
Yeah.
Each person has a different scenario.
Right.
So every day is something different.
Right. I bet.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of advice would you offer up to folks who are just getting involved in the apartment association? How can they take advantage, do you think, of our organization?
I think that they should talk to different properties and see what they do. Listen to them, understand what they're talking about, because something might be working for one property and it's not working for the other.
Right.
So yeah, definitely going to the functions and mingling and talking to people.
A lot of business gets done at our after hours events, huh?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Well, can we shift gears and get to know a little bit more about you as a person?
Yeah.
All right. Well, tell us about your family.
I have 5 boys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy mom.
Boy mom. Yes, and I have a foster son who is a boy as well.
Right.
So there are 7 men in my house.
I can't even fathom.
Yeah. So you would think that the trash would be taken out on a daily basis.
Not so much.
No, not so much. No. And
how do you survive all of that testosterone?
Well,
you must work a lot, right?
Yeah, exactly. My 24-year-old, he lives in New Jersey where I live. So he's living there right now. And then my 18-year-old, he just moved out, and I think he's gonna come back in.
Yeah.
My foster son, he's 20.
Okay.
And he's going to Cincinnati State.
Okay.
And then I have a 14, a 13, and a 12-year-old.
Oh wow. Keep you very busy?
Yeah, keeps me very, very busy.
What do you do as a family in your spare time, and what are some of your hobbies?
On spare time, we usually have like board games. So we do board game nights on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Then
fun.
we usually do like a movie night on Sunday.
Yeah. What's your favorite board game to play?
With them, it has to be either apples to apples, because they're kind of quirky like that. Or it's zombies versus aliens.
Oh wow. I've never heard of either of those.
Yeah, and that's another one that's really, because they're into sci-fi and everything.
Right.
So, but
I
do
get old school with Monopoly.
They're always fighting over the money. One
of my favorite memes I've ever seen on the internet is you find out who people really are when you play Monopoly with them.
Exactly.
Well, that's fun that you have a dedicated night every week to do that with your family.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And movies, what kind of movies do you like?
Movies we typically watch, well, the 12-year-old likes horror movies, so we try to gear towards that.
Yeah.
Not gear towards that. It's a lot of the animated.
Okay.
So like Avatar and we were just watching the Christmas Chronicles.
Okay.
So now
Someone just asked me if I watched that. Is it on Netflix?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of it.
You have to watch it.
Really? Someone literally just asked me that yesterday. I'm like, I've never even heard of it, but apparently it's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Goldie Hawn.
Is it a series or a movie?
No, it's just a
movie. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
Well, what about pets? With 6 or 7 men at home, do you have any pets too?
I do. I have 2 huskies.
Aw. Are they boys?
No, they're both girls.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah. I had to get some estrogen into the house somewhere.
Exactly.
So I have a black and white one. Her name is Sasha, and I have a red and white one, and her name is Mia.
Oh, fun. How old are they?
Sasha is 3. No, I'm sorry. Sasha is 5, and Mia is 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about sports? Do you follow sports in the family?
You would think that with all these boys that we would follow some type of sports,
right?
But they're more into like the football, where I'm more into like hockey.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get them into the hockey.
Surprised they don't like ice hockey with all the fighting and blood and missing teeth and whatnot that go along with
exactly. So I think next year or the year after that, we're gonna go take them to go see Pittsburgh.
Oh, fun. And that's your favorite team?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my favorite team.
So I was in Pittsburgh a month or so ago and went to the arena to see a concert where the Penguins play.
Okay, yeah.
That's pretty legit. I've been to a St. Louis Blues game, and I think that's the only professional hockey game, but that's a fun sport to watch.
It is. It's
sure.
very
I wouldn't want to play it. It's a fun sport to watch. And are your kids involved in sports at all? You mentioned a story about wrestling earlier, but
they were into wrestling for a couple of years. Yeah. They did do football, and you would think that with the interaction of the sports that they would like it, and they were like, no, they don't like being pushed down or whatnot. And now all they do is just beat the crap out of each other anyway. Yeah,
maybe it's one thing to do it with your own brother,
right? But... So I'm thinking about maybe putting them back into that sport. And be like, take all your frustration out on number 2,
right? Or put a wrestling ring out in the backyard and let them have at it.
Exactly.
That's funny. Well, what's one of your favorite foods or restaurants?
I love shrimp, but my husband cannot have it.
Really?
He is allergic to it.
That's interesting.
Found that out on our 3rd date. He took me to the melting pot.
Oh, yeah?
And so we got the surf and turf, and he was just like, I haven't had shrimp in years. So he tried it, and he liked it. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I see this red mark going around his face. Wow. And he was like, I don't feel so good. And I was like, can you breathe? And he was like, yeah, but my lips feel like they're like on fire.
Wow.
So as a mom, I had Benadryl in my purse.
Oh, that's funny.
So he took that, and then like a couple hours later, he was fine.
Wow.
So anytime that I go out, that's the only time that I'm able to.
Is that how you knew it was meant to be?
Yeah.
And you were able to meet his need.
There you go.
On the spot, Benadryl in the purse.
Yeah.
Love funny.
It. Love it first.
There you go. He's like, this woman can take care of me. I think
there you go. Yes. I was like, Band-Aid, no aspirin, Neosporin.
That's funny. So what about TV shows? What's one of your favorite TV shows to watch?
TV shows? Oh, it's got to be Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey?
Yes.
Are they making a movie?
They did make a movie. Okay. Yeah. I just love that time period.
Yeah.
I just love how the women dressed and the way that they acted, and just that time period.
I would love to watch that. I've never watched that show. That was on at Netflix as well, wasn't it?
It's PBS.
PBS, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
wow.
PBS.
I knew it was a weird, not a mainstream kind of thing. But then I just saw someone was talking about the movie. Maybe they saw the movie and said it was really great. But
it's an extension of how it ended, which cool. I was glad because I didn't like the way that it ended.
Right.
But yeah,
nothing's ever permanently ending. I kind of like that. They've brought back so many TV shows.
They're rebooting everything.
They are rebooting everything. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Sometimes it's good, sometimes not so good.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite concerts? We had this conversation offline, but we're going to have it for everybody else.
I have only been to one concert.
Yeah.
I was 12 years old, and I went to New Kids on the Block. That was in Philadelphia.
I wasn't going to ask you this, but you have to tell me who's your favorite.
Donnie.
I'm a Jordan fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is embarrassing to say, but we probably saw them around the same time. Not in the same city. But I used to have the posters on my wall.
Yes.
And I would not change in my room because they were there and they were watching me. So I had to change in my hallway for years, probably 2 years of my life.
Oh.
But yeah, that was my first concert too.
Yeah, my parents actually took me to that concert, and I just remember them like this almost the whole time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it though?
Of course.
Did you kind of watch them as they just came back around recently?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to go to one of their concerts.
Yeah.
But I just never, and I think the reason why I like Donnie so much is because he's on Blue Bloods as well.
Yeah.
And he, is into charities and Wahlburgers.
Have you been there?
No,
I just drove by it. Yeah, I drove by it a few weeks ago for the first time because I don't go down to that part of downtown very often.
In Myers now.
Do they really?
Yes.
Oh,
so you can buy him in Myers.
Well, he does seem like a very normal person, and he's married to Jenny McCurtney, so I kind of follow their social media antics a little bit. But Jordan was my favorite. I can't deny it. I didn't go to the reunion either. I'm like, I'm going to keep that part of my life and that part of my life. Yeah. But I do love their music. I may or may not have bought their CD to try to introduce it to my niece. She wasn't having it. Well, if you could be any animal, Kira, what would you be and why?
I think I would be an elephant.
Yeah.
They're very loyal. They're gentle giants. They work in a small group, and they just take different tasks, the smallest task, and they can do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, they can paint, they can, whatever. And then, if you piss me off with my kid, then I can stomp on you because I'm the biggest.
That's funny.
Animal.
I like that. Yeah. I like that very much. Well, what's one of your favorite vacations or downtime that you like to have with your family?
I kept on thinking about this one, and I was like, well, we really have never gone on vacation. So my parents live in New Jersey, so that's the only time of vacation that I get that.
Yeah.
So my personal vacation for me is that the kids will go to their dad's on the weekend.
Yeah.
My husband will go to a game. He plays board games with his friends.
Yeah.
The dogs are just laying there, and I'm in my fuzzy pajamas eating my Haagen-Dazs
there you go.
It's all the way in the back of the freezer, and the kids' Kroger's ice cream's there.
There you go.
And I just relax and just binge watch
Downton Abbey.
Yeah, Downton Abbey, Christmas Chronicles,
there you go.
Santa Claus 1, 2, and 3.
There you go.
So yeah, just me time.
That is a vacation when you're a mom, so I can certainly appreciate that. All right, well, just a couple more questions and we'll let you get to your Friday. If you could be any famous person, who would you be and why?
Oh, definitely Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, she had started from the bottom and she just worked her way up.
Yep.
I mean, she's the CEO of Harpo.
Yeah.
She has her own food line. She has her own television program.
Right.
And she's just the best.
Yeah.
She gives to so many charities, and she's just an inspiration for women.
Yeah. I like that answer.
Period, yeah.
We just started asking that question probably, I don't know, a month or so ago, so it's been very interesting to hear all of the answers, so thank you. All right, 2 more questions, and then we're going to let you go. Share a random detail about yourself that we wouldn't otherwise know.
A random detail about myself. As I said, I was born and raised in New Jersey.
I don't hear any of that accent. Did you used to have an accent?
Yeah. It comes out when I get angry, and then we like to use our hands.
Right.
So it comes out. It comes out. I do have an autistic son. Okay. Who is 12. Yeah. So I try to do a lot of things with him. Yeah. I try to give back to my community as much as I can, even if it's just buying a cup of coffee with the next person behind me.
Oh, that's nice.
Just the smallest things.
Yeah.
And I want my kids to do that as well.
Absolutely.
So we go to food pantries and walkathons. Yeah. And stuff like that, and I just want to make sure that tradition continues with my family, and just to pay it forward.
I love that. I was just talking to someone this morning, and I said my goal in life is to make sure that my son is a decent human being, and that's how you do it, making sure that they're always aware of the reality that other people need help, and that one little kind gesture like buying coffee or something can completely turn around someone's day.
Absolutely.
Well, I love that. All right, well, last question, Kira. And again, thank you so much for stepping in and saving the day.
Welcome.
Chris would have had to come over here and get interviewed again if you weren't here, so I'm sure he's thankful too. But how do you think folks who worked with you in your career, whether it's at Scherzinger or in your property management experience, how do you think they would describe you as a professional?
I definitely would be like a quirky, I am a motherly type of person.
Right.
So I'm very patient with my customers. I listen to them, listen to their dilemmas, their goals, what they want to achieve. Because by the end of the day, customers aren't customers; they're my family.
Right.
And that's how I treat them. And that's how Scherzinger is.
Well, that's great.
We treat everybody like family.
I love that. You shared a letter with me that one of your customers wrote because you helped him with a very unpleasant situation.
Yeah.
And I read that and I thought of myself, you know, if I were to sit down and take the time that it would take to write a letter like that for someone because they did something so, you know, special or kind or helpful to me, that would be a big, big deal. It takes a lot of time to put thought into doing that and then actually sending the letter. So I love that you shared that. We're going to make a post a little bit later today, reiterating everything that we've talked about in case anybody's not watching and wants to read it.
Awesome.
And I'm going to share some of that letter and share a little bit of feedback from some folks that you've worked with in your past or currently.
Awesome.
It's been great to get to know you,
Yeah,
and
you
I love
too.
seeing you at all the events and
Yeah.
hope to continue seeing you with the Apartment Association.
I'm sure that that's going to happen.
I'm positive that it will. Well, thanks everyone. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week for another edition of the Weekly Member Spotlight. Thank you.
Thanks.